Good morning, good evening. Ooh, how does it work? I'm gonna wait for people to join. Hello, hello. Hey guys. Oh, so many. Hey guys. I hope everyone is good. Hey everyone. I thought this would be a great opportunity. Is that Hungary? I don't know. I'm so bad in countries. Oh my god. I'm the worst. Hey guys. Yeah, so basically I thought about hosting this Q&A because you might have a lot of questions if you want to start with music, or you might have questions about me, about how I started music, or how I... You're hungry. Actually, me too. I haven't eaten yet, but I will after this. So yeah, drop all your questions if you have questions, and then I can answer them. It's a sort of in effect. Yay! I miss you so much, man. Oh my god. I'm actually going back to Europe end of, what is it? End of March. Yeah, so I can see all my Dutch buddies again. And European. Yoo-hoo! Holland. I have pizza. Okay, great. Well, maybe keep it warm for me. Anyway, I will just start a bit my story because I think there are no questions yet. You can put them in the there's a question box in here, so just drop them there and then I can answer them if you want. So, I was always a Dublin. Woo! Aww. See you soon, mate. Okay, I will not be too distracted. Anyway, I actually started music when I was 20. So before that, I was a big raver. I was always just attending every festival and everything, but I was super introverted. Like I really was not hanging too much with people. I was just really in my own bubble, and I was terrible in expressing myself. I just posted the other day about The Sims, right? Basically, I was doing that every day for like 8 hours or so for when I grew up. My dad and my mom always had to pull me off the computer and like, okay, maybe you should have some dinner or whatever. So, and I cracked the whole The Sims. So I had like own forum and just exchanged a lot online. So I was always a lot online, basically. So, and then later on, I decided like, okay, this is actually double. I have to do the same game in real life, so let's just not do that. So I quitted that. I still was a big gamer though. And then, yeah, so I went to parties and that was just amazing. Like that was like a whole new chapter for me opening up, and I was never aware of that it was there. And of course you have also the toxic way, you know, like raving till like 2 days later, which I've done, of course. But I think it was, for me, it was more that I felt like connected with people. I felt there were like-minded people, and that was just so cool. And yeah, I just knew it was my way. So I was on a school, I was on an art school, and I did like graphic design and interior design. And then I went to a party, and then I saw DJ Astru playing. So I was like, oh my god, she is actually so cool. And in that time, like a female DJ was actually not that common yet. They were there, but it was not like now. You see more and more women like online doing their thing, right? Which is so cool. But in that time, I was 19, I believe. I saw her playing and I was like, fuck, that is so cool. And in that time, there was still Hives, you know, you had Facebook, you had Hives, you had like those platforms. And I thought, shit, I really need to reach out to her because it was so cool. So I was still on the art academy. And then I was reaching out to her because I thought, yeah, this is the opportunity, or not really the opportunity. I really wanted to connect with her. I felt a massive, massive feeling. So I wrote her like, I think it was like this long. Like, who's writing people with this long, you know? So I did that and never expected that I would get a message back. So maybe a few days later, I got a message back like, oh, she was really happy to hear. And actually, she thought that me and my friend group were laughing at her when she was playing. So she was really like, oh, I thought actually you made fun of me. But actually, we were like, ah, this is so cool. So yeah, early 90s, late 90s, not many female. No, exactly. I'm gonna be a fossil. I'm gonna be older. I feel like I'm getting older. But, so yeah, she wrote me, and I already knew that Art Academy, I was on a 3D program. So I had to make 3D stuff. And I came always up with like videos with music. So they were a bit like, I don't know if you are, maybe this is not for you. So I decided to quit. While my parents, they were like, oh my god, like, what is she doing? Like, she's quitting her school. Who's doing that? So, but I believed always in the power of music. It connected me in such a way that I never had with something else. And yoo-hoo, Alex. I think it just got me such a pressure to do something for my parents, and I felt I really needed to make them proud. And I told my dad in that time, he said like, oh, music is just a hobby. So I was furious because my heart said, music is not a hobby. Music is my life, like I live for music and I would do anything for music in that time. I just knew it. So I just quitted the school and then I decided to move to Rotterdam. So before that, I first also joined Esther, and she actually had to she had to listen new samples, or she had to listen new promos from artists. And she just said like, okay, just go here and have a play with my CD players and just find your way. And I was like, oh fuck, what am I getting myself into, and what am I gonna say to my parents? Okay, anyway, I'm doing this, I'm gonna mix, I'm gonna play. And yeah, so I decided back home, I said I'm gonna move to Rotterdam. I have to be honest, I never liked Rotterdam. I never wanted to live there. There was no way without music I would be there. It was just like my heart was just craving for that. So I went, I listened to my gut, and I lived there and I worked full time, I guess. So, and then after that, in the hours later, I just went to clubs and I went with her to shows, and she showed me basically everything. So I was, David. I was very lucky to have a mentor in that time, and I know that a lot of people right now, they don't really have that. They need to figure things out themselves, and it's not always easy to navigate Rotterdam termination source. Well, almost. Yeah, it was a hard scene in Rotterdam, and I was scared for that. So when I was there, I didn't even dare to go to the supermarket. That shy I was. I was super introverted. So I wanted to get rid of my shyness and connect with people and all that stuff. So yeah, I started to play, and suddenly I got like messages from people like, hey, because I was a big raver, I was always everywhere. So they sent me a message like, hey, do you play? I said no, but I can try. So my first booking was in, hey Shoal, how are you? My first booking was in the east of Holland. And that's now like 13 years ago. So I went there, and there was no scene really, I just really wanted to try to play. So I came there, I think I came there with a MIDI controller. I was not even playing on CDJs, I think. But yeah, I played, and then everyone was clapping at the end and was like, what, great. And I was like, huh? Did I just DJ it? Yeah, I think I just DJ'd. Okay, cool. And in that time, I started making music as well. And I think because I was such a gamer, it was so helpful to me to make music and DJ at the same time, because it was in that time that DJing and producing music was split up, Back in the days, DJing and making music was a bit more blended, So when you started to, oh no, the other way around. later on it becomes more blended because if you're a DJ, you need to make music, you know, it was that kind of thing. So I was just lucky enough that I chose that for that already, and I loved it. I didn't want to play my own music, but I knew that I loved to make music, and it was like the best game I ever played. You know, I didn't have to return anymore to the Sims or anything like that. And I didn't play any other games besides Ableton. So I worked full time, did shows in the weekend. In the evenings, I was hustling around with some freelance work, and I was making music until 2 a.m. in the morning. And then I had to I had to work again at 8 a.m. So I did that for... Guys, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them. So I did that for a long time. And of course, the only thing... I just love MIDI controls. I have MIDI Akayama. I just love it. Oh, that's great, you know. If you love that, you have to do something you really love. Because otherwise, this is me today with university. Are you really feeling like you want to sort of drop out and you want to go for music? So, for that, I just want to say to you guys, if you have that feeling, always have a backup plan. You know, always feel like, okay, if this is not working, I'm going to go for that. Or, you know, because life always comes up with surprises. You can't know always the direction. You can feel what you want, but sometimes it just goes totally different. But yeah. So, back to the story. So it was big time. So, 5 years ago, my career was pumping. So I was just going everywhere. I was playing and I had a great booker and everything. And then I became ill. I became very, very ill. So 5 years, or was it now 4 years ago, there was something one day to the other day. I became double vision. I couldn't see like good anymore. I could only lay in my bed. So I felt everything I worked for was destroyed. You know, I had to cancel big bookings, like big bookings, and I felt so bad, and I had to say like, yeah, sorry, I just can't do this now. And I got a lot of sort of exposure with interviews, but that's not the exposure you want. Like, oh, Nadia became ill, you know, like, hey. So yeah, there was like a big process of me finding out what I have and still keeping up my music passion and don't stop. And I feel like if your biggest passion and desire is music, you will not stop. Even you become ill, even there is something, you will just not stop because it's something you love, you know? So I didn't give up at all. I went to shows while I was super ill, and just because my heart wanted to be there, and I had to go earlier home, you know? I had to have a good night of sleep, but I even did a tour. But it just kept me driving, and yeah, I had horrible... In the end, what happened is that I had a B12 deficiency, so I was really down on that, and there are some other things, and I want to just really say to you guys, like, if you're gonna be in the music scene, be healthy, you know, make sure your body that drives you is healthy, because without that you can't do anything. And I had the biggest experience with that, you know. You have to look out for your mental health, and that's often forgotten in this scene, that like it's a lot about like how you are and what you do and how amazing you are, but it's not about that, you know. It's about that you always stay in line with what you want, and that you love what you do, and that your mental health is in check. So I learned big time from that. So I stopped for a moment, and I really focused on my mental health and everything. So yeah, I still created music though. I always had a feeling with that. Like I never stopped that. So I released 2 albums, and every negative downside has always a positive side, hey? So I couldn't tour, I couldn't DJ a lot, but I still could make music. It never stops. So yeah, so I did that, and then I got a pump again. So I'm now in Australia, and I found out what my health issues are. I also have like a problem with my eyes, so I see double always. but this glasses correct that. So actually, I'm not looking to double. And yeah, so actually, I went here and things are starting to go up again after those releases on CPU I had. It was a massive change. Like, I had a lot of focus again, and people loved the first album I brought out, and it gave me such a drive. So it's not, maybe it's good for your ego, but in the other way also not, you know. It is really like, you see finally after so many years that people pick it up, or they like it, or they feel connected with your music. And for me, that was always about it, you know. If I can connect my heart with other people in the music scene, and that my vision that other people will get that, you know, it's just so important to have that connection and community. That's why I'm so grateful for you guys. So yeah, it's for me all about that. It's all about connection, emotion, and like, yeah, sharing ideas. Let me just quickly answer some questions here. If I'm gonna release some new music, yes, I have a lot of music on, how do you say that? I made a lot of music, so things are coming out. So now with COVID-19, artists are suffering cause concerts are cancelled and trips, the same thing, but I believe in hope. Yeah, so what happened during COVID, that was my other shock. So I came to Australia, I found out my health and stuff. My career was booming, I could live from music, right? You think, wow, picture perfect, I made it. No. So I came to Australia. I wanted to come back yesterday, I wanted to say, 2 years ago. But tour cancelled. Pandemic, everyone went ill, and all that stuff, and scary, and all. And I said to myself, fuck. Sorry, pardon my language, but I just made it, sort of, in my head, and now it's all taken away again. Like, how is this happening? How is this, why, you know, like, and many of I know, like, many artists had the same thing. They finally were on top of the mountain, and they crashed. So what happened basically is that I crashed again. So after the big illness, I crashed again, and I was totally lost. I was still happy. I'm always happy, but there is that feeling of like you're missing out on something, and this is not fair, you know, like it's taking away from me. And that was really hurtful, and I was just here, excluded from the rest of the world. That's how I felt, right? Because I was not anymore in Europe. I was here, and I saw people playing sometimes, and I was okay, yeah. Well, it is what it is, but I tried everything to put myself back on track. So what I did, I worked again full time. I just didn't care, you know, as long as my feeling, like felt better. So full-time work, freelance jobs, like everything. I guess everyone can relate, right? It was a big roller coaster the last 2 years, and still is. Don't forget that. But and I thought I need to be more kind to myself. I need to be more kind to myself, because it doesn't mean whatever I fought for the last years is totally over. You know, like it doesn't mean like if I moved here or whatever that your past is gone. That's not like the thing. So yeah, anyway, I got driven again to make a lot of music. So I made a lot of music, I built up my studio, and then I decided, like, if I can't do anything in person, I'm gonna go online, because people will be there. So I connected with heaps of people, and that was just so nice and gives such a backup. Let me just answer some questions in here. What is your favorite keyboard? Ooh, that is like, what is your favorite baby? I love the keyboards from Native Instruments a lot, because it is diverse. I can connect it with my plugins, and it's just such a great. I love also how the keys are playing. It's a really nice feeling. But I must say the Nord lead is now my favorite. It's so good. Can I ask you, you're able to pay the bills with general life? Okay, this is a big story. So before COVID, I could pay my bills with only music. Like there was a moment in my life that I was exposed to that feeling and stuff. But there's a but there, a bit. The thing is with if you it's okay, you know, like you can totally go for music and only want to live from that. But we all know that it fluctuates so much that sometimes it brings you even more anxiety than it gives you a good feeling, because the pressure is on the music, the pressure is on your creativity. And I don't think that is always a healthy way of doing your passion. You want to be free in your passion, you want to just like enjoy, right? So I always had a side hustle because I believe in that. I believe that, yeah, you have like your steady income, and yeah, it just feels nice. It just feels like you have like a 2-day job, 3-day job. You are still have enough time to build your career. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So after those two, like COVID, no, I couldn't. I had to work full time again, you know, and that's sometimes life. We are pressed back in something that maybe we don't want, but we need. So I've had the chance to remix your Fairword track on the contest. It is a story behind this one. When and how, so you have writing it. Yeah, so Fairword, I wrote it in Holland, actually. Let me think about that. Did I? I think I did. Yeah, I wrote it back in Holland. I felt you hear that probably a lot of times in my music. It's a bit it has something melancholic. It's sometimes some people say like it's a bit down music, but that's not my intention. I just want, like, my best expression in music is crying, because I feel crying can be from happiness, crying can be sadness. It can be from so many things, you know. Yeah, and I feel that's always what I try to reach somewhere in my music, that you have that little feeling in your heart that you're like, ooh, that I feel that. And that is also what I want to break free from in the music scene, is that we can talk about our emotions, that we can relate to each other, and that we can help each other. So yeah, I think that's always behind my music. But Fairword is a bit of a haunting sound, and I feel like I had a really kind of sci-fi track in my head, which I often have. So yeah. Sometimes we take all life to find the answers, but maybe it has to be that way, I guess. That's why when I feel sad, I just let it be sad, and will be a moment that I will be happy again. That's true. That is life. You know, life is this. Like, it's not linear. If it was linear, we will all be super well. There was no wars in the world. We all lived in peace and hug each other. So, yeah. Hey, Peru. Hey, Caesar, Superblocks. How did you build your studio? Yeah, so when I started collecting hardware, that was when I was 23. So that's 10 years ago. No. Oh my god, how old I am. I'm a fossil now, but I know, is it now 10? I think 11 years ago. So yeah, is that? Yes. So I got my first dupe for Dark Energy. That's that one. Because I saw it somewhere, and I have a mega obsession with, it sounds really weird this, with knobs and faders and lights. Like, I always had that. And I can remember me as a kid being in the airplane, and that I was watching over cities and with all the lights, you know, and I felt like the night is the most comfortable time I can be around with in. So the night is for me really, I love the night. So that's why I need to check my vitamins a lot of times, because I love to be awake at night. I'm like a vampire. Oh my god. But yeah, so I just got my first synth, and I found already out in that time that what I'm doing, what is sort of my habit, is I have a synth. I want to have beats, I want to have pads, and I want FX. So I'm just gonna go all the time in circles. So when I have a new synth or whatever, I want to have new beats, and I want to have to. So, and that is an endless circle. So how I build my studio is based on knowledge. I just always check out what I really need and want to express my emotions. But I also knew in that time when I started hardware, there was almost nobody really doing it. So there were also almost no women doing it. So I was really alone in that, and I never really had help. So that, not that I care, because I like to watch things for myself and all that stuff. But it would have been nice to have a community by then. So I'm grateful now for this. So yeah, I just build it and try things out. You know, you can sometimes hire things, or you can yeah, you can like lend things from friends. And then I found out that actually having hardware is just being for me, a real musician, because I can play around without seeing a screen or like having the feeling I need to work in sort of frame. So I hope that answers your question a bit. Moog addiction, yes. What's your Spotify artist name? My own name, it's Nadia Struiwigh. Crying 5 a.m. I need sleep. Oh, is it 5 a.m.? Oh my gosh. Goedenavond. Oh, wicked. Fries with ketchup or fries with mayonnaise? Oh my god, guys. One thing. I have a pizza obsession, for those who not knowing me. So I always wanted to organize a pizza party, which I probably will do when I'm back in Holland. And I love to change up my fries. I love fries so much. I don't know what that is. I love mayonnaise though. I love it. And if they're really salty. Okay. Yeah, so actually, where was I? Yeah, so my studio and how to get out there. So for me, in that time, it was really organically how everything went. You know, I just connected with the right people, and I never really had insults like of people or like bad comments, or because I feel like the way you think about your own music and yourself, you will attract those kind of people, you know. Or if you're very insecure, people feel that, you know, they will pick on you. It's like if you're like a kid and people want to bully someone, they always pick someone that is insecure, which is very sad to me, but it's a thing. So I tried always to get away with my shyness, be strong. And the first tip someone gave me was, Nadia, if you want to be in the music scene, you need an elephant skin. You need to be, you know, you need to protect yourself for things that coming your way or whatever. But yeah, what I said, that never really happened to me. So I just went with the flow, and I went from different genres. I always was making ambient and techno a bit the same time, breakbeat. But nowadays, you probably hear I have a big love for ambient and techno. I'm still DJing. Still DJing, I mean, at home. Oh my god. Yeah, so, and in this stage of my life, I'm starting to rethink everything, you know, like, is what I did over the past years, is that the course I still want to go on? Is it still my aim to be a mega DJ or be the best live act? Or do I really want to help people? You know, maybe that is my aim. But yeah, of course, I still love to play. I love to create an energy and be in that together with everyone, and then have that fulfilled energy. It's just so good. And playing live is just more complicated, because I think I started that 7 years ago, pretty quick, with Ableton. And Ableton was for me, I was making music the whole time, you know, so making a live set in Ableton was for me easy with clips and stuff. So I just did that first, and then later on I felt more comfortable doing the hardware live act, which I'm doing right now. And yeah, the thing is, with the hardware live act, if you want to do that, you have to pull out your whole studio. So every time I'm like, I need to disconnect everything, and I carry 30 kilograms of stuff with me if I'm gonna go on a gig. So, but it's fun. I love it. It has I love to travel. I love to connect with people. I love to see different cultures, and everyone is so responding differently. So, let me check. Do you recommend any headphones for long sessions and daily working on projects and tracks? Yes, so that's a good one. So I started off having no monitors. I started off making music in bed. So I just had a laptop of my ex-partner and I just put that on my lap and I just created music. And for me, I started off with Reason, and Reason is a bit more complicated maybe. But for me, it was very intuitive because you have just only one screen, one layout. And Ableton has like the session view and the arrangement view. So yeah, I just created everything on my laptop. So headphones, this is my favorite. So I have the biodynamic. Oh my gosh, like I never can word it. So I love this for creating music. I'm doing this the whole day, and then not the whole day. Take breaks, guys. Take breaks. And then I have the AKG. Which one is it? 40 something. To mix it down to hear like the high things popping up, so I can totally like change the frequency. And then for DJing, I have the, oh my gosh, what is it? I forgot the name. Like, this is my morning head. Like, I forget things. I will search it up. It will pop up. Maybe it would be nice if you make a contest and the winner can spend a day with you in the studio. I hereby apply to be the winner. I love that. I love that you invite yourself, one, to the contest, and second, that you are making yourself the winner. But yeah, no, I would love to. Like, I actually, guys, I'm setting up now my own sort of coaching program. Like, not like that formal. I just don't like to have that more formal. Just like to help you guys with setting up your creativity and get out of your blocks and just have that drive that I had for 12 years. You know, I want to give you that knowledge and I want to show you that even you have like a busy life, there's always time to build your career. So yeah, I'm setting that up right now. But yeah, a contest, I could do that. Like, you just drop in the comments, guys, what kind of contest you would like have me going. My English is bad today. Which drum machine would you recommend? Okay, digital or analog? Because if you would go for analog, I highly recommend the Korg Electrons. Let me see if I can show you. So the blue one, there, and also there. That one, that's the love of my life, basically. So, is this still straight? No, this is totally not straight, but that's okay. So those ones are very intuitive, and yeah, share more with me. What would you like to have in a drum machine? Then I love the electrons. I really love what they do. They have a really inspiring workflow, and I also think once you get the hang of it, it just sounds so good. Like, it sounds so good. Make a hub for new artists, a collective. You would be great at that, as well as pushing your own tracks. Aw, you're kind. Yeah, well, that's actually what I hope to do. Like, you know, you come at a certain age, and especially when you are so long in the music scene, it's like you go to a new chapter of your life. You feel like it's not fun always alone. It's just not fun, you know? Second, you want to share knowledge you got. Like, I mean, to be honest, I never know if I will, like, that's a very feminine thing, this, but I will never know if I will ever have children. Like, that's something I really don't know. And I feel like what I build up, that is something that I so deeply care about, and I care so much about the people I'm connecting to, that I feel like if I should give my knowledge to someone, it's those people, you know, because I see their potential and I see what they want to reach and I see the way to it. And being alone doesn't always have that. You're sometimes not getting further, you know, you're just sort of stuck. So and pushing my own tracks, like, I never have been doing that too much, you know. I always share my music, but like, I want that people connect to it, you know. If you don't, that's fine. And then yeah, so MX70's Audio Technica, is that like, do you mean headphones or you mean, sorry, I'm just totally out of it. Monday Night Adams, woo. Hey Matt. Best thing about the Volca FM for me. Okay, so the Volca FM, okay, I'm starting off with a little bit the less things of it, okay? Because I think that's always good to share as well. So the Volca FM has very tiny knobs. If you want to play live, it will be hard for some people. It will be really hard to tweak around. So I have really tiny hands. For me, it's perfect. But the Volca FM the positive things are, it's very light to take with you. You can just put it on your lap and play very intuitive with it. You can create a track pretty quick, and you can even I made a few ambient tracks only with that. If you hook up a FX to it, like a reverb, it sounds insane. The quality of the sound for that money is good. Like it's good. And I love that you have like different FM kind of presets that you can tweak around with, and you have also some different algorithms, like 32. So the sounds you have, the 32 algorithms makes that synth actually a pretty wide, like you can create so much with it. It even has a sort of like, you can create rhythms, you can create melodies, it's polyphonic, I think you can do a sequencer, like an ARP kind of sound out of it. It's one of my favorites, to be honest. So anyway, I hope that was a good pitch. Thanks for my TED talk. Where's the Moog? Yeah, it's there. I love it. Or do you mean like drum things or whatever? So the Moog is one of my favorites. It was one of my first synths. It has a lot of scratches because I took it to gigs and the first scratches were so painful. Oh my god. But yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so if you wanna... So I can give you guys, if you want, some advice if you wanna start with like your hardware live set. Because for me, it was very intuitive. I was always a big nerd. I was always like being at places that I could try out things, you know. But yeah. So if I would start off right now, I just give myself questions and I answer them. Do you hear that? It's just so funny. If I would start off right now, I would definitely go firstly for the Soundcraft is it MTK? It's the multi-track mixer, because it's just saves you so much time. And there are some cheaper, like some smaller ones, so the price will be a bit less. What I will do, okay, the first thing with it, which is a very good tip, and I would take it if I was you, because if I knew that, I would totally go for it. So make connections in the gear world. Make connections with stores. Make connections and show them what you want to do, because what your music will be your investments, right? You're gonna invest in your music. So I didn't know that by then. I was just going for whatever. But now I see that I was investing all the time actually in products, and it's actually now sort of making sense, and I get that more connections with brands. So if I was you, I would totally go for that, because you will be able to get a massive discount, and that will save you so much in the beginning. So, and then what I would do is get some small devices first to get the feeling, you know, like what kind of sounds. Like just choose, like the Volcas would be good, you know, you have like a different range of that. But that's that's without keys. But then also choose maybe a keyboard, a MIDI keyboard. Maybe you can try like a native instrument, smaller keyboard to hook up with plugins, and just feel how that is for you to work with hardware. Or just go for a different, like also Korg has also keys, I think. I think Korg is such a good beginner's sort of area if you're gonna choose something. Yeah, so I would totally do that. You can lend and rent stuff as well. Look up YouTube videos. You know, there are so many out there right now. So many YouTubers talking about gear. So yeah, tune into that. I would totally suggest that. Once you know your sound, choose in your, or put now, like right now, put the gear which you really want in your head, that you have your eye on. And never forget that. Never forget that picture you have of that kind of gear. Because one day it will suddenly, you will have that opportunity to finally buy it. Like I did, I worked in a music store for free. Not for free, but I got gear for that. So I got the Moog. That was my first thing, and I always pictured that in my head, like I want that Moog, because then I feel a real musician. So I worked there for a bit after 5 years, sort of asking if I could work there. That's also a thing. Never give up. Like never give up on your goals. Like never. And I have some tips for that as well, but I think I will put that just in the program I'm working on, because there's so many ways to just feel driven all the time. Yeah, so I would just follow that path, and then you will just build from there, you know, and it will get easier, and you get to know more what you like. And maybe those books I'm working with, like the Bukes books, they are good. They have so much knowledge as well if you want. I can drop down the link later. And yeah, I think you just ask also people, connect with people, something like that. Moog, so many good tracks since early. Yes. I love Moog. They are really good. It's really a good brand. I was fan of them for so long as well, and now I'm shifting a bit to different brands as well. So yeah, and what else I wanted to say about that? I think that's a bit it. Like, yeah, I would say just like, also what if you start off, please choose a network around you, people that you are one or inspired by. Secondly, people that really care about what you do and understand who you are, and also like give you the freedom to just feel whenever you feel being creative that you can be that person, you know, that you don't need to be someone else. And also don't be around people that talking you down, or you know, like you don't want that. You don't want people talking shit of what you do, because they can't do it themselves, so that's why they are negative, you know. They see that you're doing it and they can't do it, so they will put other people down. And that is for me the biggest lesson from all these years with hanging around with people. Choose positive, inspiring people. That's the best, because they know, they already went on that journey, you know. They know how it is like, and yeah, from those people you can learn. So anyway, I am seriously talking so much. I feel like the Niagara Falls, that I'm talking like a waterfall, but okay. Also, one question for you guys. I would love to know, this is such an off-topic question. I'm gonna go to the hairdresser in 4 hours. What color will my hair be? I'm thinking about peach, so I'm gonna do that. I think. But anyway, I really hope you like it, and please, seriously, just shout out, send me messages. I'm super active on Instagram. You probably know that by now. I love this. I just finally found my call as well. I love to create content and all that stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. And also, if you are interested in that program, I'm gonna probably maybe in a month or so share about, let me know as well, because I think a lot of people will get a lot of information out of that, and also some like motivation, inspiration, more station. Anyway, OB sex, oh my god, Jesus guys, OB6 is an amazing synth. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for your answers. We'll definitely look into your live streams again. Thank you for joining. Anyway guys, big love, big hugs. Every week I'm on the Bukes live stream, so you can also tune in there to know more, but I will just do this maybe a bit more. Thank you for joining, and see you next time. Mango. Oh, this is actually really funny. I'm gonna eat mango now, because we have, guys, frozen mango is the best. Like, I eat always frozen mango. It's good. Anyway, I'm gonna go for mango. Later, guys.